What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to Weekly Indie Newcomer. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we play Catacomb Kids. First things first, what is Weekly Indie Newcomer? Well, Weekly Indie Newcomer is our Friday series where we hang out for a little bit and take a look at an indie game that's been picking at my brain on the main over the course of the last week. And this week we're going to be playing Catacomb Kids, which is a 2D side-scrolling roguelite, very similar to like Vagante and Spelunky, although it is distinct in its own way. In Catacomb Kids, you take control of a randomly generated character with his own perks and his own flaws, each of which will affect the outcome. Think of it as sort of combining Darkest Dungeon with Vagante, and you'll kind of be onto the right track. The game isn't quite as dark, though, in theme. It's pretty humorous. Like, your little characters are almost like characters from Bully, where they have their own little one-liners and whatnot, and they exist within a dark world where children who are naughty are thrown into the catacombs to essentially make it to the bottom or die. And so you take control of one of these randomly generated children. The game is really entertaining. If you wanted, after seeing this video, if you wanted to jump in and grab the game, it's $15.99 on Steam right now for the early access. That price is a little bit steep. I would say that it might be a little bit overmarked, but they want to make sure that people that are playing the game are reporting bugs and kind of like getting things done that need to get done while playing the game. I don't know if the price is going to go down or up. I think they actually said that the price is going to be steady throughout the development, even on release. And they said the reason was they didn't really understand rewarding people for being early or punishing people for being late. They just want people to play their game. And I thought that was a pretty level-headed way to approach it, actually. I mean, what do you say to something like that? That seemed pretty good to me. So let's play some Catacomb Kids. You're going to die a lot in this game. It is ultra difficult. Do not doubt when I say that the game is ultra difficult that it is not hard. Like, this game makes a lot of other games look simple by comparison. This game is not about gear or about loadouts or about magic spells. It's about walking away when the better part of valor becomes apparent. So anyways, new game. Let's go. First things first is we got to pick ourselves a character. Right now, only the bully is in the game, or the poet. You can be a bully, or you can be a poet, and each one has their own special ability. The bully actually has a special taunt where he'll basically trash talk. That's his special ability. It doesn't really do much. He just talks shit really, really well. He talks shit like a football fan, I guess. And then a poet is your magician. He's able to use magic a lot better. His regeneration is pretty good, and he's going to be relying very, very heavily on skills. But let's take a look. I like the bully a little bit better as of right now because I am very much a warrior when I play video games. I'm sort of one of those guys that attacks all of my problems head on with a headbutt and a scream, so there it is. And here's our first set of randomly generated characters. First thing you'll notice, the game has delightful pixel graphics. I like it quite a bit. I like the way that the graphics are distinct, yet at the same time they're classic enough from like the Super NES genre, or kind of like the middle-range Sega Genesis era, where they're recognizable but distinct in their own way. You'll notice that everybody has their own abilities down to the bottom hand. You'll look at the bottom and the bottom right. The bottom left and the bottom right is what I'm trying to say right now. I have no idea why I'm tripping over that, but hey, let's keep on going before my toes get too busted up. You'll look, and at the bottom right, you'll see the gear that they start with. They have glowing chainmail, sabers, they might start with some boots, or maybe a spell. They'll start with potions, all kinds of random stuff, whatever it is that you would prefer. These things are added onto their characters, as you can see when you look at their little sprites running underneath. When you change breastplates, it changes the way your character looks. When you change hats, changes the way your character looks. I'll probably go with this character. He's a bad swimmer, though, so we'll need to stay out of water. He also has really low HP, which means he'll probably get one-shotted if anything goes wrong. His mana's pretty terrible, too. Let's maybe go with somebody with a little bit higher of HP. So this character actually looks pretty good. Magical armor, good with swords. Yeah, I'd say this character right here is probably our guy. So anyways, he comes with a Cuirass of Reflection, which does indeed reflect things back towards the enemy, a saber, a shield, some shoes, and a lantern. His starting extra item kind of sucks, but everything else is pretty good, so let's go. You will note I am playing this game with an Xbox controller. I cannot play 2D games without an Xbox controller. I can't do it for some reason. I don't know. I prefer to use it. I can do it with a PlayStation controller as well, but my recommendation would probably be to play the game not with a keyboard. Probably play it with a controller. Now, it is compatible at the moment. There are some little foibles because I think the programming on controller compatibility has been a reasonably recent thing. I can't speak to that 100%, so definitely fact check me on that one. However, every now and again, sometimes in the menus, I feel like my controller sticks a little bit, although it seems to have gotten fixed. The game patched a day ago, and it seems to no longer be a problem, so that right there, one of the major issues I had with the game has actually seems to have been fixed, so there you go. They are taking note of things on the forums and fixing them as fast as they come up. The game is controlled just like you would expect it to be. You use the A button to jump around, the X button makes you attack, the Y button makes you swap between your stowed gear and the extra gear that you have laying around. The lantern can be thrown, you can use it like that to light torches, you can set yourself on fire, you can set your enemies on fire. It's all a good immolating, horrible conflagration of a time. It's great. So let's go slowly. That right there is a level up orb, and that other thing right there is like an instant kill switch. You don't want to like touch that. Left trigger is going to allow me to hide behind my shield. And then I think that's actually pretty much all that we have going for us right now. We can go for a charge. We can also jump. We can do, if you press the B key, we don't have anything there, but had we the lantern, it allows us to hold it up and, like, I don't know what he's doing right there. It looks like he's trying to cover it with his shield or something. I have no clue what that really affects. We can hold B. I guess it allows us to just hold our position and shine the light at a location. So that's pretty cool. The game is planning on having a lot of implemented effects and things that you can pay attention to, where, like, for example, oh, look, he investigated the lamp. So that's an orc right there, and he's bad news. He can one-shot us without even trying, and so our goal for right now is going to be to sneak around him. We do attach to walls every time we go near him. Oh, it looks like the orcs upstairs are fighting with something, but in so doing, they have given themselves away. On this side, we have a buzzing cuirass. I don't know what the difference is going to be between the two, but we could take a look. This cuirass is average and has no dust on it. The saber is swift but clumsy. Okay, it causes us to lose defense then. It's an average shield. Our shoe is average. We're only wearing one right now because obviously we can't be bothered with two. Let's equip the buzzing cuirass and we'll see what it does. The cuirass is average. Your hair stands on end when you touch it. It makes us slightly electrified, as I recall. It makes it so that when enemies hit us, it does a little bit of extra damage. I may try to dance in and grab that, but we got to time it right with the orc. Otherwise, he'll come up and try and fight us. There we go. So we got the Orb of Leveling. Make no mistake, that thing will kill us. That big swinging pendulum, it hurts like hell. I'll probably go with a little bit of extra crit chance, and we can identify items better with intelligence. Yeah, let's make ourselves a brainy warrior. How's that sound? And then we also get to pick an ability maybe, or we can just take another stat. I'm going to take the stat so that we do 1 to 5 damage because that sounds pretty awesome. Gonna watch out for that orc as best as I can here. I don't think our character can roll because we only have the charge from our shield. So that's something we gotta watch at. No, go down, please. There you go. Perfect. We don't want to be up here with this guy. You can't assassinate anybody as far as I know. There's a ball of slime right there. I'm gonna throw the slime. Well, I tried to throw the slime. You can deploy the slime like a booby trap, basically, if you really want to. There we go. We'll kill off that bat. Make note, you don't have to kill... Yeah, you don't have to kill everything in this game. It's a bad idea to do so a lot of the time, in fact. Let me see if maybe I can throw the slime, like, upwards. This is probably a bad idea, but hey, let's fight the orc. Just to show you how lethal combat can be. There we go. Ooh, combat actually went pretty well. The addition of a shield is actually a really big idea. It's one of those things, it's not a big idea, it's a really, really big implement to your gameplay. It makes it so that you can actually fight orcs a lot easier, and actually I would really recommend anybody planning on fighting with the enemy should probably take a shield. If you're planning on being stealthy and sneaking your way through, don't even need it. Just ignore it the entire time. Let's play around with this. What is it? Oh, it's a strength potion. Cool, we've identified the potion of might. I love the animation that it uses for opening the chest. There's utterly no finesse involved whatsoever. You're just like, Argh! You shake it and you get your stuff out of it. I don't know if I like my breastplate of heat better or my buzzing cuirass better. I don't know. It's a little bit of like a janky conversation to be having in the middle of a death trap dungeon. So I figure we'll stop having it. Let's grab our lantern. We'll see if we can get back over to this side. I'm not going to risk it on that potion. I don't think it's worth it. Somebody that's more skilled and deft than I can probably get their hands on it. But for right now, I'm perfectly fine with leaving it behind. Right here we have ourselves a magical combat book. Let's go ahead and read it, and I'll show you how that's used in just a second. Going to fight that slime real fast, though, before he takes us out. We're going to go to our inventory by pressing the start button. And then going down, we can take a look at magical combat, and we get to choose a spell, actually, how we wanted to use this. We could put it into, like, any of these little slots right here. The difference is that you have to have learning points, though, in order for this to work. So, lots and lots of stuff to be thought about, but for right now, we have healing, which takes up a big slot, it looks like. The healing is nice to have, though, because it'll let you get your health back. And this game, while very, very prone to the one-shottings, occasionally you'll come across enemies that'll just scuff you up a little bit, and it's nice to be able to get your stuff back. This spell will subject nearby creatures and objects to immense forces from within, or we can go with Poison Blob. I'll probably go with Break and Heal, I think. So there's Break. And then for Heal, I'll probably throw that in, like, right there. And so I might assign this. Let's go in real fast, and we'll think about what we want to have equipped. They're equipped to our shoulder buttons, in case you were wondering. So the right shoulder button is going to be our heal, which I'll use right now. We're going to be out of energy. If you're wondering where our energy is coming from, it's that little bar right there with the purple zappy on it. When it fills up, you get overcharged, and so you want to be careful about it. We can only cast like one spell right now before something goes very, very wrong, and we only have minor charges as well, so keep that in mind too. Our other button is probably going to be an attack spell, which I should test out now. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work once we get back into combat, but I'll play with it in a second. I'm going to take the rock in case we need to bait something along the way. If we need to set off a trap, I'm going to knock over... Well, let me see if I can... There's poison clouds around us, so I'm going to try and destroy those little mushrooms right there so that we don't die. We've got venomous plate mail. That seems pretty good, actually. I like the color green, too. Yes, terrific indeed, noble little dungeon adventurer. Let's see here. Oh, I dropped my potion on accident. I'm not going to worry about it for too long. No, there's a trap up above us. Oh, no. So now we've been wounded and we're injured. You see those plates on the bottom of the floor right there? There's that thin line. That's what we're watching out for. I'm going to use that spell real fast to heal ourselves. Then we'll sneak past the rest of it so that this doesn't become a zero-sum experience in survival. If you hold down the down button, or if you hold down whatever your down button is, if you hold down and then you press the jump key, it makes you jump higher so that you can get to big ledges like that right there. In case you were wondering, it looks like down on that floor we've got some kind of tome which can be read. Unfortunately, we're illiterate. We're in kindergarten. What do we know about anything? You can also fall on enemies, in case you were wondering, when you go downwards like that right there. You can also do a drop attack, and then you can hold... Well, you don't have to hold anything. If you jump on enemies, you'll just go boing, and you'll like kind of use them as a trampoline, I suppose, and that'll do a little bit of damage. And it's actually a really, really good strategy because it means the enemy can't attack you, but you can jump up and down on their head. Now, Magic in Motion, if we equip this book right here, it'll get rid of our magical combat book, and I think we'll lose our spells. I think. Let's try it. Oh no, we keep the spells, but we can no longer use stuff from the other book, so there it is. If we wanted to, we could equip double jump, we could equip teleport, blink. There's a lot of cool abilities right here that I think we could probably make use of. The portal is a nice one. I think it opens... I don't think that I've ever done this one before. Let's give this a try real fast. Oh, we don't have any learning points. Never mind. We're out of learning points, so unfortunately it's not going to be of much use to us for right now. We're trying to find the exit to the dungeon if we can manage it, and I'd like to get on that right now, if at all possible. Let me kill that slime, probably kill that mushroom too so that we don't get poisoned. Let's take a look at this treasure chest. We've got a little bit of extra gold. It looks like we've got some warm plate mail. It looks like it does nothing for us. What does it do? Did somebody like pee on it or recently wear it or something? So let me see what I can do here with the warm plate mail. Hold on. It does, it's sturdy but unwieldy, so we lose speed but we gain defense. That seems alright. That's not too bad. Okay, well, I think I'll probably take this one right here. I mean, as long as we have problems, we might as well leave them where they stand. I'd like to try and shatter this orc if at all possible. Oh, it got him. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. I'll take it. Didn't deal any damage to us right now, but hey, feeling pretty good about the spell acquisition for the time being. Let's see if I can... Oh, the bat got him. Nice. A little bit of an assist right there from our rodent friend. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to lay him low. So low, in fact, that he's below the floor in order to continue, because I don't want to take any extra damage. It looks like he's crying blood over here, but I think he's just sort of like seeping out all over the dungeon floor. I don't think the custodian's going to be very happy with me. I'm going to avoid those orcs right there because I don't think it's worth fighting them. And then to the next dungeon. Now, a number of the things that you'll talk about with this game is that I really, really like how tight the controls are. Like, nothing feels cheesy in this game. Like, when you jump for a location, you actually jump for a location. And everything feels very, very good with both the jumping, the climbing. The attacking has a slight delay based on the weapon that you're using, but at the same time, it speeds up or slows down based on the weapon type. And there's everything from spears to claymores to daggers, so you can tailor that experience to your own personal preference, and I like that a lot. Tightness in a game like this is incredibly important. If the game is not tight, it puts you in a very, very disadvantageous position because the AI tends to work very, very well no matter how tight the movement is. Oh, we got stabbed to death. I tried to get... We got locked. If you saw what happened right there, we got locked in a weapon clinch, and we lost it, and so he knocked me back for a second, then he finished me with a spear. What I should have done in that fight is I should have waited until he attacked, blocked him, and then gone back after him and killed him. There is a lot of skill involved with the combat here, and it does have its own sort of tenor and its own sort of, I guess, tempo that you've got to get used to along the way. Otherwise, you're going to have a rough time. Let's go ahead and start a new game. This time we'll go with the Poet so you can try him out. I don't actually play the Poet very often. In fact, hardly ever do I play the Poet. On this side, we've got Smooth Robes. He hates axes. He's a breath holder, and he's resourceful. I don't know what resourceful means. We'd have to look once we got into the game. He comes with a coif and a buzzing robe and a knife. I don't like the knife very much. I thought it said he had a damaged mullet for a second. I was like, that's okay, though. You're trying. You're in the mullet game right now. You're not locked out of it entirely. I mean, you're better off than somebody with no mullet. At least you've got one and it's damaged. But no, he's actually got a mallet. I'll probably go for this character right here. He hates daggers. He's resourceful, and he's a bad swimmer, so we'll want to stay away from water. But he comes with Magic 101, which is a pretty good book. And he starts with Blink, which I'd like to play around with. So let's go. Okay, so we've got 5 charges of blinking. We've got a little bit of hammer power right now. He's got a little bit of a combo rocking too, which is pretty sweet. Let's break open this treasure chest and see if we've got anything that's supplementary to our goals. We've got a glowing mallet, which is in fact better than the mallet that we already have, so I'll take that. What does the glowing mallet do? Let's go to our equipment. It emits a soft glow, so I guess it gives me more of a light radius or something. The decorated jacket has fancy details all over it. It gives us speed, intelligence, and luck, so that's a pretty good acquisition for the early game. I think we'll sit on it for right now. I've never tried the tome, so let's do that. What is the... So wait, we equip a tome, and then we go like... How does that work? Hold on. It's down, right, and then... Oh, it's down, right, and then up. No spellbook ready. I have one right here. It's in my hand. Do I have to do it while something's on the ground? Let me kill that slime real fast. He's not going to die from the first swing, but we got to get rid of him. Is it... Hold on. I want to do this right now. It says we got a thing that we can do. No spellbook ready. We do have a... Maybe I have to learn it first. It puts it on our... Oh, it makes it follow us around. Okay, that's pretty cool. So his ability is that his tome follows him around in like a floaty stance. This was a strength potion, wasn't it? Oh, maybe it's a dud. Maybe it doesn't do anything. Hold on, let me throw that over there. I guess we have no use for it now. If you go in the water, what you can do... Hold on, I'll show you that. The items do interact with each other, and as far as I know, the developers are trying to make more items interact with more other items. If we go down to the water, it'll turn this into a vial of water. I think that makes it so that... Let's find out. So when I blink, it's going to lower our energy. Now, if I drink the water, it looks like it gives us... I don't know. I didn't really see much of a difference right there. I'll throw it and get rid of it. I don't want to carry it around with me. It's a little bit dark right now, so we'll want to be careful. And I hear the sound of... There's one right there. I saw it right after I stepped on it. Oh, he turned into a fist and launched himself off. That was pretty badass, though. He kind of like a Battletoads thing going on right there. Where he was able to turn into like... Oh, you can attack using the book as well? Oh, that's sort of interesting. Okay, is it better than my normal attack weapon? It looks like it does a little bit of damage and then like wipes them out or something. That seems pretty sweet. You can get around this trap just by ducking, so if you're worried about it, it's a thing that's very, very easy to avoid. I don't think we can actually... Huh. That's weird. I don't know what that does. I'll probably put my hammer back on, though, because I like it better. How do I get rid of this thing? I guess I could maybe get rid of the tome. There we go. You put away Magic 101. That's how you do it. You got to redo the little emote ability. So essentially, you'll just do the bottom right up again to get rid of it. Looks like there's a trap right there underneath that. Not going to mess with those mushrooms. They're all out of the way, and while they look especially magical, I'm not going to fiddle with them for this moment. We'll hit that with the hammer. That'll get it out of the way. Once the smoke clouds clear, we'll go through so that we don't get poisoned or anything, because I'd like to avoid that for right now. Lots of doors to be investigated, but nothing up there that I actually want. So let's check down this way. The game does have kind of like an unorthodox way of passing down through these little platforms right here. You double tap downwards, which is odd. It takes some getting used to. I'm usually used to, in most games, pressing down and pressing the jump key at the same time to get down through a... I don't even really know what to call it. Just, I guess, a platform. A basic platform, but yeah, it doesn't work like that. I'll probably take that spell right there. I like, well, Wizard Throw is pretty cool. We can go with Whirlwind, we can go with Regenerate, or we could go with Magic Blast, and we only have one learning point for right now, so I think I'll go with Magic Blast first, because we don't have a lot of, like, I don't know, melee we can fall back on. There we go, Magic Blast got him. Oh, no, he's jumping on me. Am I dead? Oh, God, I got pinned down right there. I'm not sure what really happened. I think we got stunned. When you take a hit, it kind of puts you in a stun mode sometimes that can be very, very disadvantageous. Let's try the Bully one more time. We'll do one more run before we hang this one up to dry. We got a couple of different people available here. We have a Tower Shield, a Sledgehammer. That's pretty cool. He must be very, very mighty. We've got ourselves on this side a Short Sword of Rending and a Shield and some stylish... I like that right there. The stylish chainmail sounds pretty cool. This guy's very, very red-skinned. Why that is, I'm not really sure. I guess he spent too much time out in the sun. He went to the beach recently, and now he's got that whole thing going on. All of his friends have been slapping him on the back, and he's been like, ah, it hurts so much. He's got a crown, a breastplate of heat, and a partisan of force, which is just a big badass spear. He's got a glowing breastplate and a machete. I'll probably go with this guy over here with the short sword, maybe. That seems pretty good. I like him. The short sword is a pretty good weapon, and I enjoy using it, so that'll work out pretty well. Yeah, perfect. Grab this stone right here in case we need to tempt any traps or anything like that, or draw an orc's attention around. Open up this door and have a look. You want to be careful with this game. I would play it slowly until they put otherwise a mechanic that keeps you from playing slowly. I would recommend it. There we go. I got you blocked now. What are you going to do, son? I got you blocked. Dealt with. Took out that orc. I think that's a fire pit right there. I think it sets you on fire, so we may want to go around. I don't know if it's destroyable or how we get rid of that. I have no clue. Maybe throw a corpse into it or something? I don't know. It seems a little overly violent, but there's a trap right there that we're getting around. I don't know. I don't really want to touch it. Oh, it doesn't affect me. Okay. I like the way that this game has some mystique around it, though, in that all the traps are... There are some, like, new things to be seen in this game. Yes, you've got spike pits. You've got a lot of the stuff from Spelunky. But at the same time, there are still things around that are slightly nerve-wracking that you're not quite ready for, that you got to learn along the way. So there is some metagame knowledge to go along with it, which is pretty sweet. I mean, I don't know. It's not, like, super sweet, but it's on the level of, like, maybe Starburst. It's not so sweet that it makes your eyes hurt. I'm going to drop in right here. We got a level up orb already. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm going to go for Int, and let's go for the Inky Potion has been recognized. That's pretty cool. And then I'll probably take, like... I don't like either of those abilities. Let's just go with Speed. I like moving faster. He said, like a boss. Those pop culture references from 5 years ago. We'll have to work on that a little bit. But still, I like some pop culture references over none, so I'll take it. Some people really hate that kind of stuff, though. I've seen a number of reviews that have dinged games for pop culture references. You can push these stones, by the way, in case you were wondering. I don't know if you can break them or not. You might be able to. We might get poisoned from this, but hey. Oh, yeah, we're super poisoned right now, but I think it's only if you stand in it for too long. If you saw down below, if you want to rewind a little bit, if you look down below, our little heart meter, it got green, but when we walked out of the smoke, it was no longer green, so I think it's just like prolonged exposure to the poison, maybe. Let's go back this way, because I think this area has probably a fairly pronounced upper floor, and I'd like to go oh, nope. You don't want to get fallen on either. I would avoid that. Oh, he's going to run away because we wounded him. Oh, I cut off his arm? I thought he cut off my arm for a second. Yeah, there is like arm severing and other fun stuff in this game, in case you were wondering. I think they're aiming to make it a little bit more complicated. Something along the lines of like a 2D, almost like the Dwarf Fortress of 2D platformers, I guess. They're going to make it so that when you get wet, like electrical effects are amplified, but like fire effects are lowered. There's going to be all kinds of random stuff that gets applied to your character that makes the game a little bit more interesting. Crimson Potion, what do you do? It's a poison potion. That's not good. We might actually die from this. Let me... Do I have any spells I can use here to fix this? Oh, no, we're probably going to die then. Are we going to die? Okay, well, it looks like it's going to stay in our system, I guess, but you can't be killed by poison, I guess. It only takes you down to 1 HP. Watch out for those piranhas. They're really, really nasty. Like, they're constantly telling lewd jokes that you don't want to hear. Around your kids, too. They're not even like earmuffs. They don't even give you, like, a 5-second warning. There's a big pendulum. That'll fall right there. I saw it hanging up above. But that should, I don't know, maybe? Oh, no, we've got ourselves actually a fairly considerable set of traps right here that we got to avoid. Okay. Didn't see that one coming, but I think I'll probably sneak past the orc for right now. We're not really in the shape for combat at the moment, so yeah, let's just go to the next level. I've never made it further than like 3 or 4. I don't know what happens after that. The game only has like its first tile set in, I think. I'm not really so sure. I tried to block that. I wasn't sure if it would work or not. There we go. We'll finish him off like so. Watch out for that sneaky-ass bat up there. Oh, I tried to get out. Oh, he cut off my arm? What a dick. Well, I think that's pretty much me showing off the game for right now. Let's play for a little bit and let's talk about the various things that make this game good and or bad. Now, if it's on the channel, you know that I like the game so far, and one of the first things I'll draw notice to is the graphical stylings. I like them a lot. I feel like the game definitely brings something to the table that other games don't with regards to the graphical styling. Yes, it's pixelated, but at the same time, the characters are snarky. I like the way they have kind of like a little cherub thing going on where they're very round-faced. They're very recognizable as children going into the dungeon. That makes the game a little bit darker. If you think about what just happened, an orc cut off a child's arm, and then we almost died from poison from drinking something we found in the dungeon. It takes a dark undertone, but at the same time, the snarkiness of the characters and kind of the assholery of the little children kind of makes it so that you don't really mind when they die, I guess. I don't really know. It's a fun game in that regard, though. I love the graphical representation first and foremost. Everything feels like it fits together. Sometimes with the animations of the characters, you'll find that like the body parts feel disjointed or they aren't attached properly, or maybe it's got kind of like a weird Stretch Armstrong thing going on. This game has none of that, and I love the way that everything looks and is presented. The game is just enough dark versus just enough light. I've never died because I couldn't see, but I have died because I've rushed ahead and not paid attention, and it's been too dim for me to see something far off. So, you know, there's a balance that's being struck right there. The potions at the moment, I don't think that they actually are randomly generated. I think they're the same every time. We can make... I like the way things interact with each other. If you run a boulder into a torch, it becomes a molten boulder, which is useful for a number of combat operations and also for killing yourself. Lots of fun stuff. You notice that the pink potion is cool to the touch. If it stays in your inventory long enough, they observe things about it. And so with that said, let's get on to the gameplay. I like the way that the fundamental tenets of platforming feel tight. That's very important. That it feels like you can reproduce the same result every single time when jumping and when climbing and when attacking and so on and so forth. That is important to the platformer experience. And if a game doesn't have that, it is going to negatively affect the experience. And nobody wants a negative experience after they pay 15 bucks for a game. They want it all to feel good. I like the way that a lot of the status effects don't instantly kill you. They put you down to like 1 health, but they give you another chance to learn. learn, but a lot of the traps and a lot of the enemies will one-shot and kill you. I like the way that a lot of the weapons are very, very different, allowing you to tailor the style to the way that you want to play the game. So the spears are slow, but they give you long reach. The hammers are slow, but give you long reach. They also hit a little bit harder and stun a little bit. The knives are fast, but force you to get really, really close up on the enemy, and the swords are somewhere in between. And all of these things can be modified by the things that are put on your weapon. They can be deft, they can be clumsy, they can be electrified, they can be venomous. There's a lot of variables to be played with in this game, and looking at your skill sets, you do have to approach your problems one way versus another. If you're a fighting character, go after it. But even with this bully right here, because he started with a knife, I would probably try and stay out of combat for the most part with him, just because the knife is not my style, and I'm not very good with it. We'll take heal right there. That seems pretty good. Healing is nice. Let's keep on trucking. But yeah, aside from that, I think the game could use a better soundtrack. As of right now, I'd like to hear something rocking, something a little bit more Castlevania-esque. Maybe there's like a style that they're going for with the game, but kind of like the lack of music right now. I don't know. When I play a 2D platformer, metroidvania, like roguelite, I like to have kind of like a banging track going on. Something that reminds me of like the Final Fantasy VI boss music or something. That might just be a personal preference, but at the same time, it's something I prefer when I play this sort of a game. And as of right now, the game seems to be going for like ambiance and some other things, but by and large, it doesn't have a whole lot to offer in the musical realm, and I'm hoping that's something that we find further on along the lines of development. As of right now, there's enough of... I've kind of got sidetracked killing a slime right there. Anyways, don't ever get sidetracked, up tracked, down tracked, or right tracked, left tracked. Doesn't really matter. What's in this potion right here? I'm going to drink it. Oh, it's a poison, but maybe it does change the potions around every single time that you play. I don't know. I'm going to wait for the poison to fall off, and once the poison falls off, I'll heal myself using my magical spells. That means that we've already found this, though. Let's try this one right here. Ah, it's a strength potion. It's cold to the touch, though, which is sort of interesting. I would expect a strength potion to be very warm and, like, visceral. I don't know. Let's heal ourselves. There it is. We're all better. We only have one charge left. The game does have a lot of variability, and while the enemies are largely the same every single time that you play, we're probably going to get stabbed right here. This might not go. So I'm going to try and stun lock him before he comes down. What's this? A decorated falchion? I like that a lot better, or falchion, or however you say it. I like that a lot better than the knife because it gives me a bit more reach. And that's just the kind of player that I am. I like to be able to reach around, reach in front of, reach behind, all directions. Yes, I said reach around. Feel free to laugh. I actually think I can jump him to... No, I fell on spikes, and so there it is. I die instantly if you fall on spikes, just like Spelunky. So anyways, the game has a lot of cool mechanics in it, and I feel like once they add more classes, the game is going to become even more variable. I hope they keep it up with the magic spells. Everything feels very good with this game, and I have good hopes for it in the future. The game is called Catacomb Kids. If you wanted to get it, look down below in the description for all the good stuff. It's $15.99 on Steam right now, and it is being developed by 4-Bit Friday. What the release date is for the game, I'm not really too sure. I know the developers have been really active just talking to people and really taking on board like the criticisms and the bugs and everything else. They've been patching it almost every other day, for me anyways. It's been a frequent patching schedule. I feel like it's been patching a lot, and every single time one of my annoyances goes away, so that's really, really good. I'll see y'all later. Hi, do out there, everybody. My name is Splattercat. If you wanted to see more, I am reformatting Weekly Indie Newcomer in the near future. I may turn it into not a Friday series, just sort of like a... I don't know, I've been looking at how other Let's Players do their reviews and things like that, and the Friday thing makes it so that I can't cover quite as many games. Now, I do have a problem finding games a lot of the time, but I feel like I could be able to ramp that up and maybe do a better job. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. Hi, do everybody. This is Weekly Indie Newcomer. I'll see you next Friday, unless things are subject to change. If they are, I'll announce them in the weekend video. Bye, everybody. Hi, do.